Good morning, students. Welcome again. Today, in this video, I'll discuss chapter 2, that is Equality in Democracy, from Civics section. Students, we have already studied and discussed in our previous chapter, that is Democracy, that there are various key elements of a democracy. They included equality, decision making mechanism, accommodation of differences, enhancing human dignity, universal adult franchise elections, political parties, and coalition government. Right? So, all these elements are very important, but equality is the foundation of a democracy, or we can say that equality is the central theme. Right? Equality is the central theme or soul of a democracy. Now, students, what do you mean by equality in terms of democracy? What do you mean by equality in terms of democracy, or what is this equality? Students, equality means social, economic, and political equality among all the citizens. Means all citizens of a country are equal before the law. They shall not discriminate or make differences between people on the basis of place of birth, religion, sex, caste, creed, race, or wealth. Next topic is our constitution and equality. Yes, here. Next topic we have our constitution and equality. Students, we all know that the constitution of a country is a document which has some basic rules and regulation for the people and also for the government of a country. Our constitution recognizes every person as equal. Even in the preamble of our constitution clearly states that all Indians are entitled to equality of status and opportunity. This means that all individual in the country, whether he or she is male or female, from all the caste, religions, tribes, educational and economic backgrounds are recognized as equal. That is, everyone has equal rights and opportunities. Right? People are free to choose any kind of work. Our constitution ensures that the people of India are free to follow their religions, speak their languages, celebrate their festivals, and express themselves freely. That is, no one language, or we can say no one religion or no one festival is compulsory for all to follow. None of them has a special status in our constitution. Next, student, our constitution has the following provision that also seems in your textbook also on page number 142, that our constitution has the following provision. Number 1, yes, this one. Every person is equal before the law. Means every person, whether he is rich or poor, has to obey the same laws. Everyone will get the same punishment for the same crime. No person shall be above the law. The law will be same for both the minister and the servant. Okay, next provision we have, no person can be discriminated against on the basis of religion, race, caste, place of birth, or gender. Means all the people would treated equal in every sense of term. So next we have every person. Next provision is what? every person can use all public places, including playgrounds, hotels, shops, markets, wells, roads, and bathing ghats. But however, the state may make any provision for women and children. One more provision we have, beta, that is abolition of untouchability system. Here you will get abolition means finished of untouchability system. Students, untouchability has been abolished. It is considered as a crime. The practice of untouchability is an offense, and anyone doing so is punishable by the law. Students, our Constitution of India gives us the right to equality, but this does not mean that inequality does not exist in our country. In our daily life also, we still find many examples of inequality. Our next topic is inequality in daily life. Okay. Students, there are number of people living below poverty line in India. They even didn't manage 2 square meals in a day. Means they are living in slum area. They cannot get good medical and educational facilities. But our government try to provide such facilities at cheap rates. But these facilities are not easily available nor equal good everywhere, and they are not as good as the private facilities. But the poor people cannot afford these private facilities. Next, we have the caste system. Yes, we have the caste system. We all know that, beta, the caste system is another form of inequality in India. Students, it is a social system in which groups of people are placed where each caste is either above or below the other. Means a section of people who place themselves at the top of this ladder call themselves as the upper caste. Means there are group of people, they are think that they have superior as related to others. They think about their self as superior. So these people regarded themselves as superior. On the other hand, those groups of people who are placed at the lower level of the ladder are called low caste. But some groups who are at the bottom level of caste ladder, who are they? They are untouchables, or we say that they are Dalit or belongs to scheduled caste. And these Dalit means oppressed people. And these people faced a discrimination in many fields of everyday life. The upper caste people did not give the same rights to so-called untouchable people, or we can say Dalit people who belongs to SC caste. Even today, this social system exists in rural areas. Especially, the issue of caste continues to be in the minds of even highly educated urban people. Students, higher class people are being treated unequally on the basis of differences of religions and the culture they follow, the language and accent they speak, their religion, regions, the color of their skin, etc. Students, when these lower caste peoples are treated unequally, their dignity is violated. Dignity refers to a sense of pride in oneself, means self respect. So their dignity is violated. Students, by seeing these inequality in society, our constitution makes the government responsible for ensuring that equality for the poor people. So next we have government initiative to promote equality. So the government has tried to implement equality in two ways. Firstly we have this one through the laws, and next we have through the various social and economic programs or schemes. So government provides several laws in India that protect a citizen's right to be treated equally. For example, we have the laws to help scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other disadvantaged community, that Dalit and scheduled caste people. Our government initiated several schemes for this purpose. We have number of schemes. Yes, we have number of schemes like midday meal scheme, National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005, etc. Here the scheme, midday meal scheme, is discussed in your textbook also. The midday meal scheme. Yes, this one. So this program has many advantage. Why the government refers the program introduced in all government elementary school student. This midday meal schemes refer to the program that is introduced by the government, where in elementary schools, government elementary schools, to provide children with cooked lunch and also provide education for those children who belongs to SCs or untouchable or Dalit people, so that those children will get education as well as food. So we have many advantage of this midday meal scheme. First we have more poor children have begun enrolling and regularly attending school, because for this midday meal scheme they are not even get the education facility, they get the lunch facilities also, so that many children begin enrolling and regularly attending the school. Next we have, earlier the children would go home for lunch. Generally they would not return back, but now their attendance has improved because they start up this lunch system in class itself, right? Next we have, earlier mothers were interrupted in their work as they had to feed their children at home during the day. It is not so anymore. But this program has helped a lot by reducing caste prejudice, because all students eat together, they sit together, they share things, and Dalit women have also been employed to cook midday meals. So these persons, Dalit women, also got the job to cook that food in elementary school. So next we have inequality, a world phenomena. Student, it's not like that only in our India we face this inequality. Even in developed country, the issue of equality is an important issue of concern. For example, in the United States of America, African Americans were treated extremely unequally. So, for this, they were denied equality before the law, especially before the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement was a movement that began in USA. You can see and you can read this in your textbook also. This was the movement that began in USA in 1950s, in which African American people demanded equal rights and an end to racial discrimination. So they demand that they should also get the equal right as the all citizens had that equal right in America. Rose Parks, this lady was the most important leader for this movement. She was an African American woman. She was not belongs to particularly American. She was an African American woman. Later, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, religion, or national origin. In fact, no country in the world can be described as being completely democratic. So, student, in this way, inequality is the biggest challenge of democracy. In every country, whether USA, India, we have many inequalities, and in our day to day life, we have seen also the fight for the recognition of all persons as equal and for their dignity should be continued. So, students, in this chapter, we have discussed about the equality in democracy, how the constitution provide provisions for the people of India, and how government initiated to promote equality. And it's not only in our India, many other modern countries, developed countries, have this problem in their country, inequality. So thank you, students, and if you have any doubt you can ask during class discussion. Thank you.